Alright, so 3.7 is talking about lines and slope. This will all be a review of Algebra 1, but everybody's got to get up to same speed before we can move on to relating it to geometry. So, review from last time, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, and point-slope form y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So slope-intercept form, you need to be given m and b. Okay, has to happen. Point slope form can be anything else. You can start in point slope form if you're given a slope and a point, or if you're given 2 points, and then you can manipulate that equation to get to slope intercept form. So let's find the slope of each line. Remember, slope is rise over run. So I'm going to change this by drawing in a triangle, and I'm going from, let's go from the right point to the left point. I go to the right 2, or left 2, and since I'm going to the left, it's negative, and since I'm going up, that's 1. So my slope is rise over run, and so my slope is 1 over negative 2, so slope is negative 1/2. Remember, negative sign could go top or bottom or out in front. Over here, let's go from left to right. So from here I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So rise over run, and this is up 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3. So my rise is 4, my run is 3. So we have our 2 slopes here. Now I want to find the slope given 2 points. Remember, our slope equation is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, it doesn't matter which point you call x1, y1, and which one you call x2, y2, as long as you stay consistent. So I'm going to go in order. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Negative 2 minus 7 is negative 9. 6 minus a negative really becomes plus. That's 10. Down here on the second one, let's do the same naming system. Let's take this and just move it down there, save some time. So we got negative 10 minus 5 over negative 1 minus 0. So we got negative 15 over negative 1, 2 negatives, make that a positive. Let's look at these two, and I've already given you a hint that it's a special case. Same thing, x1, y1, x2, y2. So my slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 11 minus 5 is 6. Negative 6 minus a negative, so plus 6 is 0. Anything divided by 0 is going to be undefined. You cannot divide by 0. That would be like taking 6 people and splitting them into 0 groups. You can't split them into 0 groups because then there's no actual groups left. If you try splitting them into 0 groups, everyone's just kind of standing around lost. The second one, same thing, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 3 minus 3 is 0. 9 minus 4 is 5. 0 over 5 is 0. Let's make that look more like a 0. And a slope of 0 is okay. Alright, let's start graphing. This is in slope-intercept form, meaning this is my slope, this is my y-intercept. So I start down here at negative 5, and then I'm going to use a slope of 2/3 by going up 2 to the right 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to take my line and let's draw a straight line with some arrows. Now let's get arrows at the end of this. I draw a straight line between them. Now the importance of that is I have a rise over run of 2 over 3 and it crosses the y-axis at negative 5. For my second one, I'm given point slope form. So slope is negative 3 and I'm given the point negative 1 comma 4 because it's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And since it's minus x1, that's positive, that's why it's changed. So let's go to the point negative 1, 4, and let's plot that point. And then we have a slope of -3. So I'm going to go down 3 to the right 1. 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. Remember, you can draw more than 2 points because we're going to make them collinear anyway, so we're fine. And we graph that straight line, and there we go. Now let's graph our special cases. X equals 5 means I want to graph everywhere where x is 5. Right here is x is 5. Right here, x is 5. Right here, x is 5, and so on. X equals a number is a vertical line crossing through 5. And y equals -2 is a horizontal line crossing through -2. So my second question here, what is their point of intersection? Well, it's right here where they cross, and I know x is going to be 5 there because x is always 5. It tells me right there. And y is always -2. 5, -2 is going to be my intersection point. So here's a kind of summary that has everything that we just did. Rise over run is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. On a graph, you could do rise over run. You have a positive slope, negative slope, zero slope, or undefined. There's only those 4 choices. And then the last thing we want to try, we want to try one of each problem. So let's find the slope of a line through those 2 points. So my slope, remember, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 2 minus 2 is 0. -6 minus 3 is -9, so my slope is 0. Down here, my y-intercept is -4, and I have a slope of 1. So I go up 1 and over 1, up 1 and over 1, up 1 and over 1. And you could draw as many points as you want. Let's make sure we got arrows good. And then we draw our straight line. Over here on the last example, start at our point. Since this, even though it's kind of hard to read right now, that's actually a plus. I'm going to rewrite this. I don't know why it didn't show up that well. So that's what it should be. So my point is actually 3, -2. And my slope is -4/3. So I'm going to start at 3, -2. And I'm going to have a slope of -4/3. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right 3. Now, if I didn't have enough graph going that way, I could move this negative sign. I could go up 4 and to the left 3. Notice how all of those points are collinear. So it doesn't matter if you go down and to the right or up and to the left, it's still going to be a straight line.